It was a cold Monday morning and the courtroom was packed. Some people looked anxious, others curious, and a few just came to watch. The large wooden door creaked open and a court officer stepped in, calling out loudly, "All rise for the Honourable Judge Hartley." Everyone stood. The benches groaned as people moved, papers rustled and feet shuffled. But one man stayed seated in the middle row, still and silent. His name was Marcus Reynolds. He sat in a black wheelchair, his hands resting quietly in his lap. Judge Hartley entered with her usual stern look. She sat down, scanned the room, and her eyes landed on Marcus. "Excuse me, sir," she said sharply. "Why are you still sitting? Everyone must stand when I enter." Heads turned. Some people whispered. Others looked away, not wanting to get involved. Marcus replied calmly, "Your Honour, I mean no disrespect. I can't stand." The judge raised her eyebrows. Her voice grew firm. "This court does not allow disrespect," she said. "If you choose not to stand in my courtroom, there will be consequences." The room fell silent. The air felt heavy. But Marcus Reynolds wasn't just another man in court. He was once a proud soldier who served 2 tours overseas. After the military, he became a dedicated school teacher, well respected in his community for his quiet strength and kind heart. Then, one rainy night, everything changed. He was driving home from tutoring a student when a drunk driver ran a red light and slammed into his car. The crash broke his spine and left him paralyzed from the waist down. He spent months in the hospital and years in therapy, learning not just how to move again, but how to live again. Now, Marcus was in court, not because he'd done anything wrong, but because he'd been falsely accused. His neighbor claimed he had trespassed and threatened her. In truth, she held a grudge and wanted revenge. Marcus had video evidence showing he'd simply rolled past her house on the sidewalk while she yelled at him. Still, he was ordered to appear in person. Judge Hartley leaned forward. "I've seen many people fake injuries or exaggerate to get sympathy," she said, her voice cold. "I won't be fooled." Marcus's lawyer, Clara James, quickly stood up. She was in her early 30s, smart, bold, and determined. She had worked hard to defend Marcus. "Your Honor," she said carefully, "my client isn't faking. He's been diagnosed as paraplegic. I have the medical records right here." The judge didn't budge. Arms folded, she replied, "I'll review that in a moment. But first, Mr. Reynolds needs to show respect." Marcus looked ahead, calm and steady. "If I could stand, I would. I don't need pity. I only ask to be treated fairly." Clara stepped forward and handed the judge the folder of documents. She handed the folder to the bailiff, who took it to the judge. Inside were X-rays, medical records, military documents, and letters from doctors. The folder also held handwritten notes from students Marcus had helped after school, students who said he taught them to keep going, no matter how hard life got. Judge Hartley opened the file and started to read. Her eyes moved over the pages, her fingers slowed, and her expression began to shift. Then Marcus spoke again. His voice was steady, not angry, but filled with quiet strength. "I served my country at 20, he said. "I fought in the desert, carried injured brothers to safety, and came home hoping to make a difference. After the accident, I thought I'd lost everything. But I chose to keep living, to teach, to serve again. I never thought I'd have to prove I was telling the truth just to be believed." The courtroom was completely silent. No one moved. No one spoke. Finally, the judge looked up. Her voice was softer now, her tone changed. "Mr. Reynolds," she said slowly, "I was wrong." Time seemed to stop. "I made a decision before I knew the full truth," she continued, "and for that, I truly apologize." She turned to face the courtroom. "Let this be a lesson to all of us. Justice isn't about control. It's about truth. It's about humility. And today I've been reminded of that." Then the judge stood, not because she had to, but out of respect. "Thank you for your service," she said. "And thank you for your courage." One by one, people in the courtroom stood up. not because they were told to, but because they wanted to. They gave Marcus a standing ovation. Even the bailiffs and court officers clapped. Clara, his lawyer, had tears in her eyes as she smiled at him. Marcus gave a simple nod. He wasn't looking for applause or attention, he just wanted to be heard. And now, finally, he was. The court then reviewed the security footage Marcus had submitted. It clearly showed that he hadn't done anything wrong. The neighbor who had accused him could be seen shouting insults while Marcus calmly moved down the sidewalk. The judge dismissed the case with firm words. This court finds Mr. Reynolds not guilty on all charges. In fact, we find that the accusations made against him have no proof and are clearly biased. This case is closed. Clara gently patted Marcus's shoulder. He let out a deep breath, for the first time in days. Outside the courtroom, reporters tried to speak with Marcus, but he politely said no. Instead, he went over to a small group of students from his old school who had come to support him. One teenage boy stepped forward and asked, "Mr. Reynolds, how do you stay calm when people treat you unfairly?" Marcus gave a gentle smile. "Because being angry doesn't build bridges," he said. "But being honest does. I believe the truth always finds its way, if you keep standing for it, even when you can't stand on your feet." Those words were later shared on social media, in news stories, and on blogs. His story became a symbol of quiet courage and dignity. Thank you for watching this powerful story about bravery, respect, and the strength of the human spirit. Marcus Reynolds showed us that real strength isn't measured by what our bodies can do, but by what our hearts choose to do. If this story touched you, inspired you, or opened your eyes, please like this video. Your support means the world to us. And if you want more real stories that uplift, challenge, and change the way we see the world, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Remember, justice begins with understanding and dignity starts with listening. Until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and always believe in the power of truth.